I'm going to attempt to do this all in one go. I've already tried a couple of other times. It's been pretty wild. Making videos seems weird. But I I felt compelled today to sit down and make a video. I don't even know if this microphone's working, but now is the time. I think life has been wild for a lot of us, and then almost, when is it not? When is it not wild? But it feels wild in a different way right now, at least for me personally, and some of the other people that I've talked to. There's that growth, that moving, I guess, even in astrology, there's the shedding of the skin that we're going through right now, and it feels like that for me majorly. I've been sitting with some heavier things personally. My mother has passed away, which has been an interesting process, especially regarding our history. And I have some other circumstances, and there's school and finding more of myself and adjusting and readjusting and learning how to move with the flow of things and not be so rigid. And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to just know the direction I want to go without trying to force the direction to come to me, but to just be there with the direction and know that with the awareness and consciousness that I'm moving there, that I don't have to become uptight and rigid and forceful to get there, that I can just breathe, remembering that I know that I'm safe in myself, and for me, trusting the process, learning to trust the process. And we can all do this. We're doing it together, and trust the process. And then we can be so present in the fantastic moments, in the good moments, in the moments where we're not trying to struggle with the force and the flow and the what is what and which way to go. We can be there with the warm sun on our skin, with the cats meowing in the background and the children dragging wagons. And you want to say hi too? I think you said hi last time. This is Wesley. This is Stevie's cat. Wesley's a good boy. So, with all of that, I wanted to go ahead and share a poem with you all, whoever decides to join me on this journey. And then maybe take a few moments to just maybe breathe together and ask ourselves how we're doing. Maybe bring in some loving kindness, some metta for ourselves. So this is a poem. It's called Sometimes a Wild God, and currently this is my favorite poem. I've shared it a few times in group. I love this poem. I think for me, it speaks a lot to what I'm going through. And then I kind of wrote my own poem based off of this poem called The Great Unnamable Beasts, and I may read that too. So this is Sometimes a Wild God by Tom Hirons. Sometimes a wild god comes to the table. He is awkward and does not know the ways of porcelain, of fork, of mustard, and silver. His voice makes vinegar from wine. When the wild god arrives at the door, you will probably fear him. He reminds you of something dark that you might have dreamt, or the secret you do not wish to be shared. He will not ring the doorbell. Instead, he scrapes with his fingers, leaving blood on the paintwork, though primroses grow in circles around his feet. You do not want to let him in. You are very busy. It is late or early, and besides, you cannot look him straight because he makes you want to cry. Your dog barks, The wild god smiles and holds out his hand, and the dog licks his wounds and then leads him inside. The wild god stands in your kitchen. Ivy is taking over your sideboard. Mistletoe has moved into the lampshades, and wrens have begun to sing an old song in the mouth of your kettle. I haven't much, you say, and give him the worst of your food. He sits at the table bleeding. He coughs up foxes. There are otters in his eyes. When your wife calls down, you close the door and tell her it is fine. You will not let her see the strange guest at your table. The wild god asks for whiskey, and you pour a glass for him and then a glass for yourself. 3 snakes are beginning to nest in your voice box. You cough. Oh, limitless space. Oh, eternal mystery. Oh, endless cycles of death and birth. Oh, miracle of life. A wondrous dance of it all. You cough again, expectorate the snakes, and water down the whiskey, wondering how you got so old and where your passion went. The wild god reaches into a bag made of moles and nightingale skin and pulls out a 2-reeded pipe and raises an eyebrow. And all the birds begin to sing. The fox leaps into your eyes. Otters rush from the darkness. The snakes pour through your body. The dog howls, and upstairs your wife both exults and weeps at once. The wild god dances with your dog. You dance with the sparrows. A white stag pulls up a stool and bellows hymns to enchantments. A pelican leaps from chair to chair, and in the distance, warriors pour from their tombs. Ancient gold grows like grass in the fields. Everyone dreams words to long-forgotten songs, and the hills and the gray stones ring with laughter and madness and pain. In the middle of the dance, the house takes off from the ground. Clouds climb through the windows.
Lightning can't wait to see your video.
Great, thank you. Lightning pounds its fists on the table, and the moon leans in. The wild god points to your side. You are bleeding heavily. You have been bleeding for a long time, possibly since you were born. There is a bear in the wound. Why did you leave me to die? Asks the wild god, and you say, the shops were all closed. I didn't know how. I'm sorry. The fox, listen to them. The fox in your neck, and the snakes in your arms, and the wren and the sparrow and the deer, the great unnamable beasts in your liver and your kidneys and your heart. There is a symphony of howling, a cacophony of dissent, and the wild god nods his head, and you wake on the floor holding a knife, a bottle, and a handful of black fur. Your dog is asleep on the table. Your wife is stirring far above, and your cheeks are wet with tears. Your mouth aches from laughter or shouting. A black bear is sitting by the fire. Sometimes a wild god comes to the table. He is awkward and does not know the ways of porcelain, of fork, and mustard and silver. His voice makes vinegar from wine and brings the dead to life. A Wild God, Sometimes a Wild God by Tom Hirons. I love that poem. It makes me feel the stir from inside of all the things that have been calling me throughout my entire life, that have brought me to this moment where I am here right now. That brings me the moments that have brought me to make this video and be here and share with the people that I love and the people who care about me and love me, and the cats who love me also, and my daughter who loves me, and Nima who brings me my mail and loves me, and all the moments of my mother passing and being present with her, and the struggles of being a parent, and the struggles of figuring out relationships, the struggles of life, the suffering and the joy, how to be present in it all. Sometimes a wild God comes to the table. Sometimes that wild God comes over and over again. Sometimes that wild God demands to be seen. And he'll come in the most uncomfortable ways. Sometimes a wild God comes in the sunrise and allows me to cry over spider webs. Sometimes the wild God comes to me in group, making me laugh at myself as I stand in front of a bunch of people, speaking about all of the things moving through life. Sometimes a wild God comes in my sleep and causes me to have wild-ass dreams. Sometimes a wild God comes through in the relationships that I think are good for me, the relationships that I want to last, or the relationships that are good for me that I'm afraid of, the fights, the struggles. Sometimes a wild God comes in just a breath or a fly behind me. Maybe life is the wild God, and we're so busy trying to build buildings and sidewalks that he busts through those walls that we've built and those smooth pathways that we think that we're taking. And he tears the ground up. Sometimes hurricanes, sometimes falling trees, sometimes navigating those fallen trees and wild roads and stormy weather and cats and children and breath, battles, suffering, joy, gratitude. Sometimes when we take a breath together, in those moments, it's where we can feel the profundity and the wholeness of life, and we can say, life. I'm going to share one more poem and then we'll do a quick, just a dropping in and a hello to ourselves, maybe a little bit of meta. So this poem is a poem that I wrote based off of Sometimes a Wild God by Tom Hirons, and this one is written by me. It's called The Great Unnamable Beasts. The great unnamable beasts. Aye, those things I cannot put more than a breath or a sigh to in their meaning. A hallowed moan, a gnarled growl, a deep, cavernous cry. The hollow walls beckon to the spirit that lives beneath the swamp. Those things symbolized by fingertips and toes digging through the sludge, mouthfuls of mire, fire filling the glass edge of my throat. It comes from so deep within it is beyond my own body, but draws me near in dreams. Those great unnamable beasts where myth becomes my name and my innards become the song it sings, etched in my ancestors' stone. Caves, claws, shells, skin shed, wings, thorns, venom, and teeth. So far and beyond, it feels like birth pains on a journey back. Beyond the history of my own spine. Through and beyond time and beyond the first dying star. Stopping the heart of the universe who does not sign a DNR and moves forward again. Through the first water broken, the first stab in the back by tooth or by knife, the first enlightenment, the first feelings of awakening spirit and fear of loss of life. These great unnamable beasts, their primal teeth clenched in the inner knowing, to find the inner knowing of connection, safety, and trust that eludes so many of these, until, like an anchor, it doesn't. It is united with those holy ghosts. I am grateful to finally know this kind of haunting. For every thunderous cry is followed by a faint but growing whisper that it is safe. It is okay. I am integrating this knowing into my brainstem and flooding it down and through my spine. Those great unnamable beasts. Through those great unnamable beasts. And with them, I learned to honor the truth of pain and the validity of safety and trust in my every pouring of exhale. Thank you. Before I end this, I just wanted to take a minute to sit down with you all and invite you in to relax your body. Take a nice deep breath, a nice grounding breath, a nice slow exhale. Another nice deep breath. A nice slow exhale. A nice deep breath. Really being present with that breath. A nice slow exhale. And starting at your feet, your ankles, your shins and your calves, your knees, thighs, pelvic area, and hips. Relaxing, dropping, releasing. Moving to your torso, starting with your chest and your belly, just watching your breath. Exhaling, relaxing, releasing, dropping. Allowing any tension to flow down the river. Your arms, from your shoulders down your biceps and triceps, your forearms, elbows, down to your fingertips. Relaxing and releasing. Your neck, releasing any tension in your neck. Noticing if your body is asking you to adjust or stretch or move. Releasing, relaxing, letting go. The face, softening the face, releasing any tension in the brow, any tension in the jaw, allowing the face to become neutral. The scalp, relaxing the muscles of the scalp, the top of the head. And on an exhale, just allowing any tension, any stories, any thoughts to be released, relaxed, slowed down, to allow them to flow and move down the river. Now, for a moment, just asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? What is my body holding on to? Without judgment, it's safe to feel comfortable and uncomfortable feelings. It's safe to notice where they're at in your body. Just noticing. Maybe there's a tension in your shoulders. Maybe there's a feeling in your belly. Maybe there's a sharpness. Maybe there's a softness, a warmth or a heat. Maybe there's tension in your legs. And not listening to the distractions of the mind, but listening to how your body needs you to honor these things. Maybe you're being asked to take a deeper breath, or to create, to reach out and connect with someone, to slow down, to move your body. Maybe you're being asked to rest Maybe you're being asked to connect with nature. Maybe you're being asked to really be present. And if any distractions begin to come up, know that that's okay. That's a part of the meditation. And those distractions are there to remind you to come back to yourself when you've been pulled off the path, when you've been pulled away from intention. We'll begin to close this by sending ourselves and the world some loving kindness. We'll repeat these wishes to ourselves with some integrity and kindness, inviting a version of yourself that it's easy to open your heart to. Maybe your inner child. Maybe you as you are now, anywhere in between. We'll just begin to speak some loving words to ourselves. May I be happy. May I be healthy.
I'm hungry.
May I be safe. May I live with peace and ease and an open heart.
What are these? And I'm hungry. And can I watch TV?
Give me a moment, okay?
Okay.
Dropping back in from distraction. Labeling it as thinking. May I be happy.
Today will be
May I-
will be a peaceful day.
May I be healthy. May I be safe.
Today will be my peaceful day.
May I live with peace
Today will be my peaceful day.
and ease and an open heart.
Today will be my peaceful day.
We'll bring in some loving kindness, some metta for the world. So just bringing in your family, your loved ones, your teachers, people who you've yet to meet, people who have passed on, animals, your pets, all beings, as we send some metta wishes, some loving kindness wishes to the world. May the world be happy. May the world be healthy. May the world be safe. May the world live with peace and ease and an open heart.
Mom, look what was happening under this plant.
May the world be
There's a
happy.
new sprouting under the plant.
May the world be healthy. May the world be safe. May the world live with peace and ease and an open heart. I love you and I thank you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank
Today
you.
will be my peaceful day.
Today will be my peaceful day. Namaste from me and Gordon.
By the way, I'm Gordon.
By the way, she's Gordon.
And I have a 12-year-old sister, and her name is Stevie. My name is Richard, and I'm sitting in the corner.